Like, it scares me, that USC game in a few weeks. If the defense doesn't get fixed with how bad both defenses are, that might be 100 to 100.
Like, when did basketball season start?
Yeah, exactly. Like, go to quadruple overtime with what was that LSU A&M game a couple years ago that went to like 7 overtimes, and it was like 80 to like that nobody could stop anybody. Like, I hate that style of football, but it's something we're not used to as Notre Dame fans, because Notre Dame scoring 40 was like you throw a party for Notre Dame scoring 40 points. But yeah, so what do you think going forward with the Chris Ash problem? Do you agree with Freeman on the I'm not going to take play calls away from him yet, and the whole I don't think it's the play calls that their issue, it's the execution?
That's a tough one, but I can say this for sure: you've got to keep Ash on a short leash. You have to. I mean, Saturday morning, if he's afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in, if that same crap is still happening and there's no improvements, Freeman has to take the reins himself. He's a defensive guy. He knows that this is unacceptable. That he knows obviously this is not what they're wanting to run. These are not the results he's wanted. You got to take the reins. This is your team. And Chris Ash, I mean, yeah, of course you can't ignore the lack of execution. But I got to be honest with you. When Coach Freeman says that after every loss, or even a win when it was sloppy, we got to execute better. It gets to the point where it's like, well, no shit. I know. Listen, I'm not dogging him for that. I know those are the answers that he has to give. I get that, because he can't go out there and say, "Oh well, that damn bastard out there, he covered this guy when he should have been covering that guy." No, he's not like that. He's not going to throw people.
He's not Brian Kelly. He's not Brian Kelly.
Yes,
and I do appreciate that about him, right? But it does. I've noticed this, and you can kind of tell me if you agree. I know a lot of people in my group chat hate listening to his press conferences because it's a bunch of word salads, and big words and big terms until he finally gets to the point after like 20 minutes of like what he's trying to say. And it's like, so you said all this shit just to say, well, we just need to execute better. Yeah, it's like so frustrating. It's like, I get it.
It's the word salad with bullshit dressing. Well, no, you know what he needs to do with this? You know what Freeman needs to do with that? He needs to approach it. And listen, I'm not trying to start anything here, but Ryan, be honest if you could tell this. But do you remember last year when they made that great run in the playoffs and got all the way to the championship game? Well, remember first off, we went 11-1. He was asked about it then. We made the playoffs announcement. He was asked about it then. We beat Indiana, asked the same question. Won the Sugar Bowl over Georgia, asked the same question. Won the Orange Bowl over Penn State, was asked the same question. And that question is this: hey, Marcus, how does it feel to be the first black head football coach at Notre Dame to go this far? Tell me that you didn't tell he was getting annoyed by that question every single time. That he just got to the point where he was saying, hey, my mom's Asian. So I got to be the first Asian coach too.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing that up for like political reasons, but what I'm saying is you could visibly see him getting annoyed by that question. Like, stop asking me this question. This is not the approach that he needs to take with all his press conferences. No, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but I'm going to be honest. I'm tired.
I think part of it, right, is I think Freeman, he doesn't want to, what do you call it? He doesn't want to throw anybody under the bus, obviously, right? But I also think he doesn't want to put things out there in terms of criticism publicly, whether that's of players or coaches. He's just not the guy to do that,
He
right?
wants to keep behind closed doors.
He wants to keep it behind, which I respect, right? I
do.
do respect. I respect it, but there comes to a point where things are just, and you know what? We saw a little bit of it. Like I said the other day with his press conference, where he's like, "I've never seen him that annoyed and visibly pissed in a press conference when all the questions were about the defense." And he finally just went on a tangent and said, "Hey, look, we had a defensive coaches meeting yesterday. It wasn't comfortable." And I told him I didn't want it to be comfortable. I liked that. My ears perked up when I heard that. And then I start visualizing in my brain what Freeman's doing to Ash in that said meeting. And I'm like, I hope to God he was lighting into him. Like I couldn't imagine what that conversation's like. But
well, it's have you ever seen the movie Clerks?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It was the first Jay and Silent Bob movie all the way back in '94, ancient times. These two guys, it's about these two guys who work in a convenience store and they deal with the everyday annoyed life of working in one.
Mm-hmm.
One guy is very uptight. His name's Dante. The other guy is his best friend, Randall, who is just does not give a crap at all, says what's on his mind, and he actually rips into the customers. Well, and there's a part of the movie where they're talking about that, and Randall says to Dante, "You know, man, you would just feel so good if you would just rip into the occasional customer." And I'd want to tell Marcus Freeman the same thing. You know, Marcus, you're a good coach. You put in so much work. There's frustrations that come with this job and anger. You'd feel so good if you would just rip into the occasional assistant coach who's not doing his job.
Yeah. I think I do remember the clip from last year. I posted it and it kind of went viral on Twitter of the clip on NBC of when it was against Miami, Ohio. Don Schuler gets that dumb unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and Marcus Freeman rips off the headset and just starts yelling. He's going ballistic. He's crashing out on Adon and letting Adon hear it. And then people made a big deal about it. Like the next quarter, he walks over to Adon and was like, puts his hand and says, like they're talking and he's giving him a hug. Like, and people are like, he shouldn't have gave him a hug. That's coddling. And I'm like, I would rather him do that than the whole BK thing of getting all purple faced and then not saying anything to the player the rest of the game and then blaming him in the press conference.
Usually when something's made into a meme like the purple face, it's not for a good reason. And I will say this, to Brian Kelly's credit, I was at that game. It was from the South Florida game in 2011. It was pretty hot that day, so he was probably.
The team played like garbage. So I mean, you know, that was the one we lost, right?
Yes, it was great. The weather delay.
Oh yeah.
But going back to that for a second, that's something that you have to do. Yes, yell. You got to treat him like it's your kid, like it's your son. Yell at him, go ballistic, but then come back later and say, "Okay, Adon, I yelled at you for this reason." And especially when it's during a game, you know, you got to finish the game. Mm-hmm. There's always practice on Monday, I found out that these guys do practice on Sunday, the day after a game, which I didn't know that for sure. But our buddy Matt Shelton, who's a former Notre Dame wide receiver, he did tell us that and filled us in on what they do. Like, he's like, yeah, it doesn't matter if your plane arrived back home at 6 a.m. You've got stuff you're doing that day, like some practices and a couple meetings. But anyway, I digress. So all I'm saying is get through the game, and then on Monday or Sunday, give him some punishment.
Yeah, I would find it interesting. Have you talked to Matt about his thoughts on the start of the season? Has he kind of given you an increment?
I mean, since the 3 games in,
yeah.
I haven't really asked him his thoughts on. Well, he was on with us for the Texas A&M preview, and he just said that, you know, it was a hard fought game. You know, a lot of guys are young, new faces. So that first game, I think everybody was saying that from Miami. But no, since then I haven't had a chance to ask him what his thoughts are. But he's going to be back on soon.
Well, if you could put in a good word, we would love to have him on the show, even if you want to hop on that time. I'd love to ask him some questions about that because that'd be interesting to kind of get some insight into that.
No, he's ours. I'm kidding. No, I say it because he's been on with us, which holy cow, like 7 times already.
Yeah,
that's the most that any former Notre Dame player has been on with us, and he's been a man. You guys would love him. He's an absolute blast to talk to.
Oh, I've watched some of the interviews. Yeah, really. Anyways, I do want to point out this one stat. I thought it was interesting. And it's not, I shouldn't say interesting. I don't know if interesting is the best word. Horrifying, I think is a good way to put it. So this is where Notre Dame's offense and defense ranks in the country. The defense is on the right. Let's just say the color red is not good. Scoring defense, 32.7 points per game. That ranks 118th out of 136 FBS schools. Points per play, 0.48. That ranks 114th out of 136 teams. Total defense, they're giving up 399 yards per game. That ranks 101st in the country. Yards per play, they're giving up almost 6 yards per play. That's 99th in the country. The only bright spot, third down conversion. Yay. We're holding teams to 32% on third down. Great. Doesn't matter when they're scoring 0.48 points a game per play. Rushing defense, meh, right? It's in the yellow, 41 in the country. Yards per carry, 3.4, meh. Negative play percentage. This you would think the red means good. No, that means that we are barely getting any negative plays on defense. 5%. That's great, isn't it? What was it? Explosive rush.
I find this stat funny.
Which one?
Explosive rush. It doesn't look like we've been getting much rush on the quarterback to begin with. How are we in the green for that?
I think what it is we're getting a lot of hurries, like quarterback hurries, but it's not attributing to actual sacks.
Ooh, hurries.
Yeah.
I've never understood that category. Great, you're getting the hurry. Are you getting the sack? Are you stopping the play? No. Some of these stats can just be complete. I'm just going to say it. Some of these stats can be completely retarded.
Oh, yeah. Passing defense. We're giving up almost 300 yards in the air per game. That ranks 132nd out of 136 teams. You know who has a better pass defense than Notre Dame right now? Akron. You know who else? Kennesaw State. You know who else? Tulsa.
Well, I would say out of 130. I would say out of 136 teams, a lot of crap teams do.
Yeah.
You could put some high school. You could probably put some high school teams in this category.
We have the worst pass defense in the state of Indiana out of all the FBS teams.
And you got to remember, too, some of these teams at the FBS level, they barely pass the ball. That's probably why we're only 4 spots above last. Navy doesn't pass. Army doesn't pass. I don't know. Is the Citadel playing FBS now?
No, they don't.
Okay. Well, I know there's a couple other teams that don't pass a lot.
Yards per attempt, we're giving up 8 yards per attempt. That's 109th in the nation. Quarterback rating, 142nd. That ranks in the FCS ranks. Let that sink in.
Somebody's going to be a Heisman because of us.
Completion percentage. We're allowing quarterbacks to complete 58% of their passes on average. That's middle of the road, man.
Yeah, Jake, the quarterback from Nicholls State, is the Heisman Trophy contender. Where did he come from? Oh, they played Notre Dame last week. Go ahead. Sorry.
The final one, explosive pass. We're giving up. 6.8 explosive pass plays per game.
Explosive
That
pass.
Yeah.
That's me right now because I'm gonna have to. All this stress has caused me to have a freaking a kidney stone, so I'm gonna need some cranberry juice to pass it. It's got to be explosive.
Oh man, you know what? The only bright spot though. Look at the left side. I see a
Yes.
whole lot of green. See a whole lot of green. Um, besides the sacks per attempt, which I believe that's mainly from the Miami game.
Yeah.
Because they were getting hella pressure on Carr that game. But yeah, interesting stat. We'll see how that improves. Hopefully it does as the season goes on.
Can the
right?
squares on the right hopefully turn a little more yellow?
Yeah, if we just get yellow, right? With the offense we've got, I feel like we'd be pretty good.